prices are ridiculously expensive. I did not know that because we don't buy eggs. So when we noticed everybody complaining about $5 and up carton of eggs, it kind of caught me off guard. And then I realized how many people were talking about how they wanted to start getting some chickens, which I think is awesome. I'm all for it. But I kind of wanted to talk about what all that entails. So we've had chickens for probably 10 years at least. Our flock is only hens. It's just laying hens. We have 18. They range in ages. Our oldest are probably over 5, and our youngest are over 2 at this point. Now, the first thing you need to think about is, are you buying chicks, or are you going to go find some that are adults and have an already established flock? Because it's way different ball games. If you're gonna go get chicks, you're gonna be raising them. So they're gonna spend, ma'am, can I talk? You're going to be raising them, so you need heat lamps or some kind of a heat source, and they have to be, you know, babied for several weeks until they're old enough to be out in an area without a heat source. If they're adults, you don't have to do that. You can skip that whole phase. The upside to not raising them, it can take as long as 8 months for a bird to actually start laying. So some of them will go as early as like 4 or 5 months old to lay their first egg, but it's a pretty big window. So you're going to be spending all that time feeding them until they are ready to actually lay. Once they do start laying, they lay roughly 1 a day, and that's pretty consistent till they're about 2 years old, and then it kind of starts fizzling out. So like our oldest girls, they probably only lay 1 egg a week, if that. Consistency of laying is also controlled by the weather. So in the winter time, you're going to be feeding them a ton, and they're not going to be laying a whole lot. Like there may be a week or 2 at a time where they are not laying anything, which is very frustrating, but that's just how it goes. And they will also molt, which is where they will lose a ton of feathers and regrow, and they will not lay any eggs during that time period also, which is usually like once or twice a year. Feed cost is going to be different in any area, but I would say we're probably spending close to $80 a month on feed this time of year. And keep in mind, ours are not cooped up in a tiny little cage. Like they have a very large area to roam and graze and eat anything they see. Dirtiness. They are so dirty. They poop a lot, everywhere, anything. They'll poop in food, they'll poop in their water dishes, they'll poop where they sleep. They are dirty animals. And it's really gross because when you start cleaning it up, it turns to dust and then you're breathing it. It's a good time. If you plan to free range them, don't. We have tried free ranging multiple times. It doesn't work out at all. They get ate by everything. If you're in town, your loose dogs are going to eat them. Hawks will eat them. Foxes will eat them. Out in the country here, the coyotes think it's, you know, a buffet, and they come and they just wipe them out. So free range is a bad idea. And that being said, even your cage of however you're keeping them, that needs to be pretty solid too, because everything likes chicken. Another reason to not free range them, they will tear up anything. Like if you have nice, pretty landscape flowers and that sort of thing, they will get in there and they will rip it to pieces. You will have nothing left. Or your garden, oh man, I hope you didn't want any tomatoes because they're gone. They're generally a pretty healthy animal. Like we don't really have to do a whole lot of maintenance to our birds. There is several parasites that they can get and, you know, certain bird diseases, but just like any other animal, you just have to pay attention and make sure that they're all good. In all, chickens are pretty awesome. Like, I hate that they're super dirty and they're a pain in the butt sometimes, but they don't take a whole lot of maintenance, and we love eggs, so they're definitely worth it. We will always have chickens because we love eggs. Hopefully this video helped you decide if you wanted to jump into having some chickens of your own. I highly recommend it. But I will warn you, chickens are the gateway drug. We started with chickens. Now we have a full-fledged farm.